Hello everyone and welcome back. Here we go again. Another one session of how to cope without therapy. And in this series of buzzwords today I have one for you that again drives me nuts. And that is communication and effective communication. And talk, and a lot of talk. And still, somehow, we miscommunicate and misunderstand the ones around us so frequently, so much, that it's almost like we're missing the point. And I'll explain you a little bit more of where I'm coming from. But why did I pick communication? There's something again that showed up on my feed and said one of those lovely quotes that says you can communicate all you want. The key is not communication. The key is comprehension. So I guess in a world of someone saying something and us saying something else, it becomes rather strange and almost hard to grasp how sometimes we are so alien to what it is that we're trying to put across, or what it is that we're hearing from the other side, that it's like almost mind-blowing, almost just hitting you in the face. It's like we're using words that should be understood universally the same. And in the same time, we seem to explain concepts and ideas and beliefs that are just ours, without being able to explain and give roundness and shape and color and nuance to what it is that we're putting across. It's almost like we're in two different spheres, without intersecting, even though we use the same language, and it's like a paradox. I had one of these recently, and it was astounding to piece together messages that were coming across and completely misunderstanding them and what the other person was trying to say. So it's like, and I'm not even talking about abstract, like let me give you a tangible example. Like you're trying to explain I'm trying to explain to someone, and this is an example, right? Although it's tangible, it's real, it comes from experience. So I'm trying to explain to someone, hey, look, I seen bears before, and I grew up in a mountain kind of environment, forest and all of that. So I've seen them few times in my life. I lived in that environment where things are in place and they're embedded in how you grow up, because there are bears around, because they come into your backyard, because there are rules about not poking the bear. And I know it sounds silly, but that's a good example. And I deliver something like this, and then the other person goes like, oh goodness me, you should go get some help and read this about bears, and try to look at this from my perspective. And I'm like, I didn't say it, but I'm thinking like, dude, you're not hearing what I'm saying. You've watched a documentary or YouTube's videos about bears. You've never seen one. You don't, you have an abstract concept of it, and you're telling me how a bear reacts, and I've just delivered to you that I had those experiences before with bears. So I was like a little bit mind blown of how out of not out of context, but how much we live in these different spheres of how we subtract information and how we store our experiences, and how someone can hear you talking and purely discount your just discount what you feel and your experiences, and that to me was actually a bit sad. I I, I I do have, mind you, I do have a bit of a tip when it comes to communication. Do me a big favor, please, if you're listening to this. I'm not saying we should go back to the beginning of last century and start writing letters and pouring our soul out in those, or the dreams or the passions or all of those lovey-dovey dreamy stuff. But what I'm saying is we have it, when you're trying to express your soul, when you're trying to put yourself across to someone because you want to, because it's part of being open, because it's clarity, because it adds it is the experience. This is how you give someone else the opportunity of experiencing you. Please stop texting. Use your voice, use your face, record yourself, put your tones across. Messages, they just appear on a screen, and they have no tonality, they have no inflection, they have freaking emojis. Whoop-de-doo. It's just, it made my heart sad to go through conversations of I guess beautiful stuff. I'm not saying serious, or I'm saying beautiful stuff that was that I was trying to put across, and it felt rigid. At the other end, it just ended up this rigid, impenetrable sphere. It was, yeah, it was a bit sad. But anyway, my point is, it's express yourself in a manner that uses your own words, your own bears, your own understanding, your own mountainside, your own camping experience. Just explain yourself with that. It's I've got things written down here, and I was just doing some work earlier, and had to research something for one of my units, and as I was reading something else, and an article about something completely different, like things were popping up in my head, and the expression, even if you It's not about denying anyone else's experience. Just communicate when it matters, right? Like, I'm not talking about work settings here, I'm talking about soul settings. Yeah, when you have conversations with people, use your own, please stop texting. Use words, use your voice, um, put yourself across with your funny accent and your pauses and your uhs and your ums, and just it, tell your truth. Tell your truth as you see it, genuinely, as you feel it, as emotional as it is, as raw as you find it. It's perhaps the worst thing you could do, even well, just as bad as texting only, is having to end a beautiful thing or a beautiful conversation by texting, or by not telling the truth, or not being true to yourself. So I guess the only way you can express that truthfulness, in my mind, is through all of you, all that makes you you, your voice, your face, your tonalities, your nuances, your if whatever makes you cry, whatever makes you laugh, just express it and put it across. Otherwise you're just another sphere of text messages that becomes impenetrable, like a tower that holds on to your own opinion, and that's what you know, and that's what you apply, and that's that, and there is no other truth out there, no other way. There's a piece that I read yesterday, and there was an expression there that I really liked, like people are, I am, like, you know, when you were a kid and you had like one of those toys that you could look into. It wasn't a binocular, but it looked like that, and you could see all of these reflections and pieces and geometrical, a kaleidoscope. We used to call it a kaleidoscope. I'm hoping that's an English word as well. And you shook it, and then the pieces inside would rearrange, and then you would look again, and it was this brilliant, beautiful thing. And trying to explain that to someone that believes in abstract realities, it was kind of hard, but I yeah, do it anyway. Express yourself, do it for yourself, do it for your own clarity, do it for your own emotions and feelings. It's feeling is beautiful. It's freaking beautiful, and it's a pity to, I find it a pity to leave something beautiful behind without expressing 100% my truth and where I'm coming from, without texting. Anywho, that was me about communication and maybe comprehension and maybe feelings and kaleidoscopes and beautiful things. I hope it serves you something. Possibly will not protect you from bears, but it was just an example that I thought it puts something across. So thank you so very much. I shall pick another buzzword for tomorrow. I'm gonna try to get back into the rhythm. It's been a bit of a hectic week. This is going to be episode 7, even though it's already Wednesday and this would be the first video in the episode. So I look forward to it. I'm just yeah, glad to get back into it and blend it in with some more studies and research and hustle and bustle and the wisdom of my son. And I'm Gabriela. Thank you so very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.